I'd like to welcome all of you here. If for some reason you guys can't hear me, just in the back row, raise your hands or something, but looks like the weather's going to hold. Family and friends of Omar and Catherine, we have gathered to witness the promises this couple have come to make to each other. As many of you know, we are here today not to participate in the legal contract between two people, but to share in the rest and better parts of a wedding ceremony. Omar and Catherine have done a fine job of entangling their souls, both legally and spiritually, without us. And so today we are here not to approve of this union, but to participate as family and friends in celebrating a bond that already exists. We are here today because love gathers us, especially because love has found Omar and Catherine. As we celebrate this wedding today, we honor our friends and family who are not able to be with us. They are with us in our hearts. Their love lives in the love that Omar and Catherine bring to this marriage. Omar and Catherine, for all of us involved, we thank you for allowing us to be part of this ceremony. Perhaps in many ways this ceremony serves as a reminder to all of us that the beauty in the act of marriage and in this celebration of love. I am honored to have been chosen as the celebrant for this wedding. I have known Omar for many years. On several occasions, we have had lunch together and had substantive conversations about just about everything except love. Most of us don't talk about love. Why is this? Perhaps the reason it is not is that it is too big of a subject to be contained in common conversation. But I believe the main reason is that love is undefinable. Subtleties of a common understanding and intention fail us because of our varied means of expression. And perhaps at times, we are simply clueless to the manifestations of love. My wife and I recently went out to dinner with Omar and Catherine. At one moment in our conversation, Catherine stated that Omar thinks the animated movie WALL-E is a story about robots. And I was thinking, well, isn't it? And Catherine laughed and then said again, but of course, it's a love story. So sometimes our quite different perceptions can create some differences, and still we share the human journey, hand in hand with someone of the other realm, or as the cliche goes, Mars and Venus. My wife and I have a little existential exercise we do when talking about this human journey. We imagine what God must think looking down on his creation, and perhaps humored by the vast coupling dance. And although he would be the choreographer or prime mover who puts this human love dance together, at times even he or she must delight in its quirks. Imagine these little specks of organic matter performing the mundane details of their existence, shopping for low-fat milk, planting cucumbers, sorting socks, folding laundry, and giggling about how many G's there are in the word giggle. Then take notice of the music makers, the artists, intellectuals, brilliant athletes, civic leaders, middle managers, and such, each of them endeavoring to elevate their among their fellow specks and contribute in the vast body of speck worth. Now, if this isn't hilarious enough, put two specks together. One dresses in brown clothes and delivers cardboard with great haste, while the other creates arts and crafts to add beauty and value to speck lives. In the evenings, these two tired specks sit together. Specklets. Eating food harvested by a tractor driving speck. They perhaps later would share a remote, which they point at a little box, brightly lit, which shows dancers, news spewers, ball strikers, and specks in the throes of their version of speck love. So you get the point. And there might be those among us who would be thinking that I am minimizing the vastness of our great love and human worth. The conclusion of this game always comes down to an awe for the vast richness of it all and a joy in having chosen someone else with whom to share our spectacular life. Omar and Catherine stand before us, their two souls thus entangled, willing and ready for the journey. I would like to share some thoughts on love and marriage. I'm sorry I cannot provide answers regarding love and marriage. I've tried at times to pull together a simple definition of love and repeatedly found my efforts bungled, stilted, and sophomoric. For the purpose of this ceremony, I will keep this brief. Those who know me can verify that I rarely say anything with incontestable clarity, and never with brevity. Still, I feel some obligation to throw out a couple biscuits of other folks' wisdom regarding the meanings of love.